Welcome back, everybody, to our Dark Souls playthrough as Artorias. Really enjoying myself so far. Tonight we're going to be doing some slightly more difficult areas. I'm hoping to do a couple optional things as well. We did pick up some meteor weapons. I think the first thing that I'm going to do is brave some of the graveyard over here and pick up the Zweihander, the two-handed sword. We're going to do that. And then the other thing we're going to do is completely optional for you all. Not necessarily something that I would recommend if you're very new to the game. When we fought the gargoyles, we had the help of both Knight Lautrec and also of Solaire. And Solaire has an interesting quest that you can partake in throughout the game. The only fight that I find him to be particularly useful in is the fight with the gargoyles, again, just because there's a couple enemies. And he can be useful a little bit later on when you fight Ornstein and Smough. However, I am going to go ahead and kill him for his gear. I find that that's going to be, it generally seems like it's going to be a little bit worse than what I'm using now. But it actually, by the time you go ahead and upgrade it, it has some of the highest magic, fire, and lightning resistances you can get. And I find that to be much more important than having high physical resistance. A lot of armors can provide you with that. The other real nice thing is that it's actually a little bit lighter than the armor I'm using now, I believe. And actually most medium armor sets it's lighter than, so it'll put us in a real good shape if we can go grab that quick. These skeletons are super annoying and will resurrect themselves if you are not using a blunt or divine weapon. Again, I don't think I'm going to pick up everything here. Just there's some genuinely mediocre items in here that you definitely don't need. Round shield's okay. I just don't exactly remember where the Zweihander is. It's also a gigantic two-handed sword like the Claymore, so I want to pick that up for sure. If this area is difficult for you, again, not too much you need from here. If you're not planning on using the Zweihander, don't bother. If you're following everything thus far throughout the game, if you've come along this far, the Claymore is more than enough for what you need. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up my souls, kill a couple more skeletons, then we're going to go up and kill Solaire, grab his gear, and I might start upgrading this. I don't die frequently, and I don't want to over-level either, so I'm actually going to spend a fair amount of souls upgrading his armor as well. That'll provide us with a nice solid boost for a strength build. I think you can bypass these skeletons. I don't believe they resurrect. Oh, perhaps they do. But we don't have to fight the guys down here this time. If you're trying to get the soul packets that I got a little bit earlier when we were in here, one thing you can do is actually just knock these skeletons right off the edge. That might help out. You don't have to worry about them at all with that being the case. The only real penalty to using the Zweihander versus using the Claymore is that I have this really nice long-range thrusting attack, which is great against a couple enemies that you want to steer clear of. But I find it to be a superior weapon overall until we get the Great Sword of Artorias, which obviously we'll be using. Zweihander is actually also great for knocking things flat on their back. It has a couple really powerful attacks that do that. Alright, right through his guard. So we're going to steer clear of the skeletons that are on the left there. I'm going to see if I can't run through and pick up the remaining couple items. Not a ton. I know one of them is the binoculars, which frankly I don't use. There's a couple gigantic skeletons in here as well that are very difficult. There's the sword I wanted. We'll pick up the binoculars later when this is all super simple to do. Because you do not want to fight these giants. They're not great. So we're in perfect shape. We're out of there now. And Solaire is actually on the way to our next destination. We're going lower into the Undeadburg and into the depths. On our way, we're going to be fighting the Capra Demon, so this next area is fairly short. pick up our gear on the way. Easiest way to do this, just head up the ladder. We're heading back in the direction of the blacksmith. I do think this Zweihander is going to be a little bit heavy for us, so we might have a slower roll. We actually don't have enough strength to use it right now either, but it is massive. Yeah, we need 24 strength for this. We can two-hand it with no problems. Takes quite a bit of stamina to use, but very powerful. Easily one-shotting things, just pancaking them into the ground, even the ones that are blocking. It's the delightful added side effect of looking amazing. Really a matter of preference. Claymore is still quite good if you don't have the strength requirement to two-hand this. I like the added reach of this, and I don't mind two-handing it. Just because of its inherent range anyhow, you can see it's making pretty quick work of the Knights of Balder as well. Particularly the jumping attack for this is quite good. And we are a little bit too heavy at this point. If you're gonna be fat rolling, then you might as well have decent armor protection, which we do in spades right now. But I think Solaires will be a little bit better. So this is, again, this is the path you want to take. If you have to go down into the sewers with the rats, that's more than fine. Truthfully, not a big deal at all. We want to go past this bridge anyhow because earlier on, when we were going past this area, there was a locked gate, and that leads you to the next area of the game. And it's worth noting as well, the dragon will attack here once more. Even if he has left at this point, he will rush across the bridge and quite easily kill me. So I should have waited. But we can get our souls. We rested that last bonfire, so we're fine. So we'll go ahead and run back. This time grab our souls and then hide, wait for him to make his dramatic appearance. I believe this is the point where he'll swoop in. Well, perhaps a little bit further up. Well, maybe that was it. In either case, I feel fine, because I got my souls back. Alright, right down here is Solaire. What I am going to do at this point, though, since I cannot use this one-handed, I'm going to switch back to my Claymore for this fight for easy parries. We'll go ahead and start off with a backstab. Oh, perhaps I can't quite yet. Okay, and he'll start his fight with me here. He will attack you with Sunlight Spears, very powerful ranged light attack. So actually try to stay close to him for this fight. That's what I genuinely would recommend. He's not a terribly difficult fight, especially when he's doing things like that. And fairly easy to block. Cool running attack there. And that'll be it. Couple humanity and all of his gear. So let's go ahead and throw that on and see what it's looking like on us. It's a little bit heavier than the standard helm here. Let's see how that stacks up against the gargoyle helm. Gargoyle helm's a little bit better, as I stated here. So the armor itself is a little bit lighter, a little bit lower in physical defense, but higher in magic, fire, and lightning defense. So that's quite a bit better. All of this gear is pretty solid. I don't know if I'm going to like the look of the Gargoyle helm on myself, though. Now I'll switch it to Solaire's actual helm. There's really no difference between these two. This just has better fire and better durability, so we'll use all of his gear, actually. And with that gained, we'll go ahead and begin the next area of the game. This door here will lead us into the basement, back into the Undead Burg. We'll have to level up our strength a bit to use that Hunter effectively, even with one hand. Now, if you're not pressing a direction, you just hold O. You can slide down ladders as such. Makes things a little bit faster for you. And this area is actually fairly short before the boss here, but there's a couple enemies to note. One are these rabid dogs, which attack you with annoying speed. So definitely keep your shield up as you're going through here so you don't get knocked out by 3 or 4 all at once. Keep your health high. They do inflict bleed damage as well. I think there's 3 or 4 of them, one of which I apparently already killed. First thing you want to do, this is a road that goes both left and right. You're going to circle back, take the road back here. You'll remember earlier when we fought the Undead Merchant. Well, we didn't fight him in this playthrough. He does drop, or he does, you can buy the residence key from him. If you do have that key, you can open this door and recruit another NPC for your Firelink Shrine hub. It is very important, particularly if you're playing a magic playthrough and using primarily magic. Get this guy over here, Griggs of Vinheim. He'll go back to the Firelink Shrine where he will sell you magic. So, gotta let him out of there, free him from his cell with the residence key we picked up from the merchant. These Hollow are no more difficult than the other ones, but they do attack in a mob, and they attack very quickly with that torch. Do a lot of pretty heavy elemental damage to you versus their standard slash. So kind of pull them back one-on-one there, so you don't have to worry about getting ganged up on. These guys in particular, they all start right near each other. But with that nice wide sweep from the Claymore, we're in good shape. Twin Humanities, very valuable. And that is quite literally half of this entire area. Be careful as you progress. These doors here will open up, and thieves will come out of them. The thieves are difficult. They parry and they backstab. They do quite a bit of damage. One trick that potentially does work sometimes is if you do the jump attack, you can sometimes hit them through the door, get rid of them. The doors will still open, you'll still get the loot inside, but yeah, see, I can actually hit him through the door if I aim correctly. Well, that's one hit on him at the very least. Do the same thing for the other door, they'll start pretty weak. There we go. I think it'd probably be better to do that two-handed, but the doors will open as we walk past here. They'll come out to attack. Got one down. There's the other Hollow Thief, and there's a third. It's just a little bit down the way. He did try. Oh, he did get the kill on me. That's what you need to worry about. They do parry fairly well. Okay, let's see if we're missing anything in the side rooms. A couple items down here. Mail breaker there. Dagger type weapon. Fast, doesn't use a lot of endurance to use. I don't believe there's anything in this one though. We're doing well as far as healing. We still have 5 Estus flasks. We're going to unlock a shortcut here, but be wary as you come around the next corner here. There's a couple dogs. Attack quickly. Maybe we have not aggroed them yet, but also the doors will open. There's, I believe, 3 more thieves in addition to the ones we have already killed. And the reach on this claymore, absolutely incredible. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10 stars. You can see, I am trying to find the last enemy here, but you can see the fog gate. That's where the boss is. Very short area down here. And at least for the beginning of the fight, I find that this boss is genuinely mostly luck, because you do get ambushed right at the beginning. That's the only hard part of the fight. The Capra Demon himself is very easy. There's some thief gear there. Better for dex builds, lighter characters. We're going heavy. And I believe there's 1 barrel we can break open as well. Another Soul of the Lost Undead. Now before we go in here, I'll go ahead and explain this. We're actually going to unlock a shortcut too, I think. If you go down these stairs, there are a couple more thieves. One's hiding right behind here, so that's super annoying. You will get backstabbed if you walk past him. Just keep that in mind as you're going down. Second one, not nearly as bad. Oh! A parry with a claymore. Pretty vicious. You'll go past this set of stairs here, because there is an item on the other side. There's Soul of the Lost Undead. And what we want to do is head back up these stairs. There's a solitary archer on the stairs. Not a big deal. He's down for the count. Stairs are broken. You can only go up 1 more floor there. There is a merchant here on the right. Another undead lady merchant. Sells a couple things. Usually worth buying a couple purple moss, blood red moss clumps. Status effects there. Homeward Bones, usually worth having a couple. She sells a couple humanities. She sells a purging stone. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but they're very expensive. You'll just run back along this aqueduct. Go ahead and open the gate. And we're back at the start of the Firelink Shrine. We opened up a shortcut. That's the Undead Burg. This leads back to the depths where we were. There's our rat friend that we always kill when we swing through here. And he dropped us anything? No, it's just the water effect. Nothing. Obviously, as per always, there's a couple undead here. Brutal kill. Okay, good to go there. See if I can get some style points jumping down from here. And back up to the Firelink Shrine. Now I know this is a little bit long for a shortcut, but it saves you the trouble of having to fight through all those hounds and thieves again, and this bonfire is always at max level, so we'll get 10 essence flasks. We have an enemy following us. Not anymore. He dropped nothing important. So we can rest here. Obviously, you're always going to want to level up and expend your souls where you can. Go ahead and bump up strength just a wee bit more. We need to ultimately get to 24 for our Zweihander. Maybe it's Zweihander. I'm familiar with the sword, I don't know, I guess the proper pronunciation of that one. That should give us 1 more level, maybe. No, We are a couple points short, so I think I'm just going to kill a couple hollow. That way, if we do lose to the Capra Demon, not that big of a deal. We're not losing any souls. It should be one hollow and we'll be good to go. Oh, don't know how that missed exactly, but there we are. Yep, that'll do it. Go ahead and level up there. There's the sorcerer we just saved, so we're good to go there, in case you're planning on buying some spells. One enemy followed us once again. It's worth noting at this point, if enemies are around a bonfire, then you can't use the bonfire until they're dead. Okay. Now I'll just go right back through here. You're going to take the ramp as if you're going to the Undead Burg. These enemies should not be a challenge for you at all, and they also aren't worth a reasonable amount of souls at this point either, so you can just walk right through them. Not that big of a deal if you miss a couple. Still kill the rat. You know, that's well worth doing. Oof, camera got a little buggy there. Sorry, I hope I'm not giving anybody seizures. They shouldn't follow you through the aqueduct. Instead of going to Undead Burg, again, go through this gate, and that'll lead back to the merchant that was selling us all of our status recovery items. Actually, I'm going to switch to this Zweihander in this fight because, well, I'll keep the Claymore. It's a little bit lighter. I might need to use my shield, especially for the very beginning of the fight. Enemies have reset. Nothing to really worry about. However, there's only 2 Hollow Thieves, and the dogs will charge down the stairs and just make fools out of themselves. No, you don't. Get good, noob. Okay, they're down. Beware of the dogs descending the stairs. They usually don't do much. Problem is they stagger pretty easily and they hit fast, so kind of annoying at more than anything else. They die quick enough. There we are. We have 10 Estus Blast. So if you're missing any health, really, you know, go ahead and heal up. Okay, so here's the thing about the fight that you need to be aware of. There's a staircase on the left when we enter. It's a fairly narrow hallway, and you're immediately assaulted by 2 of those dogs, in addition to the boss. So although the dogs die in 2 hits, they can stagger you, and the Capra Demon will make very, very quick work with his 2 giant machetes. So what we're going to do here, we're going to block the dogs. We're going to probably roll under the Capra Demon and then get to the staircase. If we can get to the staircase, we can pick off those dogs really easily and then just loop the Capra Demon into walking up the stairs. May very well die, but you know, we can just run back from the bonfire and collect our humanity. We have almost no souls, so let's make it happen. There's the Capra Demon. Again, just flattening me. I have a heavy roll, so that's definitely not working in my favor right now. So they'll all come up the stairs. They're just staggering me like crazy. Okay, got one there. And I got the other on a plunge attack, so I'll heal up. That's the hardest part of the fight. With the dogs now down, the rest of this is not bad. He suffers from a lot of damage from plunging attack. Ooh, I didn't know he could hit me from up here. Yeah, he actually does suffer from plunging attacks, so you can two-hand this, just jump down and slap him with that. But all in all, not that bad. I wish I was significantly lighter. We're going to have to work on our endurance for sure, because this is pretty painful. I've never played any kind of heavy class. Normally I start as deprived. We can block a fair amount of that with our shield, but for him to fall down... There we go. It's sizable damage there. Oh, he's flattening me. Hopefully we can get a couple more good hits from the falling attacks. Nope, nothing there. Try to do a two-handed, see if we can't get a solid hit in. Nothing. Man, that slow roll. I'm wondering if I maybe take the helmet off. That'll do something for me. Even my normal hits do a sizable chunk of damage. I'm gonna try to circle him a bit. Oof. Okay. Yeah, we're fine. There we are. Just gotta play this careful. There we are. Yet if you're a little bit more experienced, your rolls aren't down. Then again, definitely make sure you're luring him to the stairs. It makes this fight significantly easier. That should be it, though. Yep, that's the Capra Demon. And we got the key to the depths. Homeward Bone there as well. Next time we're going to go ahead and move right on forward through the depths. I'll probably level up a couple times, get some points in endurance. That'll be our next goal there. Until then, thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful. As always, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.